Good evening, this is Tunis the Human, and welcome to the first episode of our Papal States Pacifist run. And of course, this has been voted by you lot in the community tab. We are going to play, well, a sort of vanilla Total War experience here. Obviously not quite the base game, seeing as the Papal States aren't normally available. Very easy to change in the Desktop file, of course. The only thing I've had to change is a small fix to make sure I can call a Crusade, which, as the Papal States, you kind of think you could. So, what am I doing on this run? Well, of course, I'm the Pope, but I am calling this a pacifist run. And now, it's not strictly, this is Total War, it's not strictly going to be pacifist. However, the spirit of this is something along these lines. We are going to be the Pope, and the idea is we are going to be Team America, well, Team Pope around Europe, basically. And we're going to sort out all of those Catholics. Now, if someone starts a war, say France declare war on England, I might go off and help England smash up France, give a bit of that territory over to England. I'm going to be the world police, and I think that could be an interesting little experience and experiment, it should be said. So I am going to take a little bit of territory at the start. I'm just going to go and grab Florence and Corsica. Maybe Sardinia as well. We'll see about that. We've actually got a few forces to start us off, so we might as well get going with them, make use. We can hire Papal Guard straight away, so we actually are a pretty strong force in terms of our military, even if we are only one settlement. Now, of course, if I'm playing as the Papal States, you might think that no one's going to declare war on me, but yeah, from my experimenting with this, definitely Sicily, and almost certainly Milan will poke me before very long. Certainly if I leave my towns a little bit weak. I am the Pope though. I do have this little vision here. I can't control it, sadly. I can't declare how much I like anyone. This is essentially, well, on an earlier video when I talked about diplomacy and how to fix that on here, which should be activated on here. I think I did that before now. I have an immaculate reputation. Isn't that lovely? Yes, our relations are reasonable. Now that suggests that it's around about the middle. Now this is actually on 6 out of 10 here for England. That's England. So it's about 1.2 on the old, or 0.2 on the old diplomacy scale. Of course, I think I've referred to the weird mathematics involved in that on a previous video or two. But let's not get into all of that right now. Basically, most factions are pretty positive to start with. From the Holy Roman Empire, who, from our Islamic campaign, we did discuss how, good old Henry and Gregory aren't the best of friends. But it's fine. We're still just about on our side for now. And to be honest, in my experience of playing around with the Papal States, they're the least likely to actually come and attack us. So, as I said, we are the Pope, but we don't really have an awful lot of say. I can call a Crusade only because I have changed that around in the files, so that is going to be possible. But I don't know. That's the other part of this, actually. The other part of that, I forgot to mention this already. So we are going to obviously call Crusades. I am going to be a bastion for Catholicism. So if I can call as many Crusades as possible, try and get Christianity to spread across the map, that's really my ultimate goal. I'm not really trying to take over the world myself. That's not the plan. No, I am fighting for Catholicism. My victory is for Catholicism to take over the entire map. And at the very least, maybe we can accept a bit of orthodoxy. But, the schism's something that we maybe worry about at another time. So, we are the Pope. Our job, essentially, is to, get Catholicism as big as powerful as possible and make sure that other Catholics, if they decide to be mean to each other, I step in, I try and solve all of that. I'm just going to, if I take any territory from random Catholics, I'm just going to gift it to whoever I think deserves it the most. Oh, this could be very silly indeed. I'm not going to play by any hard and fast rules in terms of pacifism. Say Sicily attack me, they will. Say they attack me, maybe I'll give myself their lands. I'm not 100% sure on that. I think I can have Italy. Whilst it could be fun to have random Papal States lands in other parts of the world, I think I should probably stick with southern Italy, maybe Sicily and these islands here. If anything else, I think we're allowed to hold Jerusalem. But we'll get to all of that on another occasion. For now at least, we are Pope Gregory here. We obviously are the Pope. He's not secretly female just yet. Maybe in the next one will be. But he's not the most interesting faction leader of all time. Does have a doctor. Worth noting, he doesn't actually have the ornamental armour, which is unusual. Yeah, when you get elected Pope, you normally get that. Although, I do recall thinking that there is actually... It's not actually every time, but I think because he has never been voted Pope, he hasn't actually picked it up in his retinue. That's probably what's going on here. Right, let's organise our forces. We have a few units here to start off with. Might as well get them mostly together over here. We have a few lands in the city. They can, they're all free upkeep anyway, and we'll send the Cardinal with us. You can go chat over here to Sicily, who are obviously demonic fiends. I reckon what I'll probably do is I'll get diplomats standing around at various different factions, and I'll just give them money. I have found when I've tested around with this, we do normally have pretty good funds. So that's going to be the plan there. I'll get a port because I need a boat to go and take the islands over here. That is the plan. And we'll go and grab, yeah, ourselves a nice bit of Florence very, very soon indeed. So we'll wander over there. You will notice I, of course, do have the Pope sprite here on the battlefield. Well, on the campaign map, certainly. We'll see you on the battlefield before too long. We head into Florence. I am, as I said, I'm not really going to take on the other Catholics unless they attack me. If they attack me, they're auto excommunicated, by the way. Have I got everything I want this turn? Let's get him a priest. I'm the Pope. I should probably have more priests. Possibly a good idea. And we'll get one Papal Guard because we can. End our turn. And yes, of course, we do get candidates for adoption. Now, I've had a good play around with the Papal States, and I'm going to have a separate video on modding the Papal States and playing around with them and all sorts of chaotic nonsense. It's quite wonderful, but it's not quite complete yet, so that will come out sometime soon. This guy's actually pretty good for a suggestive player here, although that's a bit unfortunate that he's playing, but it's not too bad. He's loyal, he's got some chivalry. We'll have him. Why not? He obviously doesn't have any daughters. It is possible to get him married by fiddling around with the files, but no more spoilers on that. We can do lots of weird things with him, but we've got a very plain game Papal States here, as I said. There is no family tree. This guy can't inherit. He can't become our leader. A bit like in the base game. Well, just like in the base game, they will have themselves other generals, family members technically, but other generals who can get in battle, who can hire us mercenaries, and who can put up some watchtowers, such as one over here. If you've watched me before, you'll know I love myself many watchtowers, and that's probably a terrible place for one. So you'll probably find on the diplomacy screen, like right here, that you often be quite generous in terms of your offerings. As a general rule, you can, if someone's excommunicated, actually, you can offer reconcilement, which is a very powerful place to be. So I reckon I can probably get a good chunk of money out of him here. I'm not really interested in annoying them. They will offer that. I'll take it. I'm not really interested in building up his stats, so we'll just wander back up north. They'll attack me before long anyway, so let's not worry about him. Mr. Priesty here, what is your job? I think you can wander over to the port because we're going to want to send an army over before long anyway. No need to worry about any of that. Over to Florence we go. Perfect. Yeah, so as the Pope, you'll generally find that diplomacy is on the easier side because people want to please you, and we do have an immaculate reputation to start with, which I suppose does help things. So we are incredibly trustworthy indeed. That is quite a rare thing to see, but obviously when you play as the Pope, you start off with the highest possible reputation. Not quite sure why, because historically the Pope did learn to do quite a bit of land grabbing, but we won't necessarily worry about all of that right now. Just flick through the end turns here. Should be able to head into Florence pretty soon. We've got ourselves a rebel settlement task from the Council of Nobles. Not sure who they are, but yeah, as you can see, the Papal States basically runs like a normal faction, all things considered. Just doesn't have a family tree, doesn't have the princesses. I haven't actually tested out the princesses. Maybe I should. I'm not sure how that one's going to go, but it could be an interesting experiment. We should get on that. Get ourselves a boat over here in Rome. And no movement from Sicily yet. exciting stuff. Yeah, maybe let's just head in with the Pope. To be honest, they'd probably just surrender, but let's head in anyway. We've got plenty of men. I think it's a good idea to get straight into a battle. What are we? 8-10 minutes into the pacifist run, already going in for murder. Oh, Pope Gregory, I can see how this one's heading. Speech, 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 speech. Come on, Papy, give us a rousing speech. He's taking his time, so we'll just speed him up here. Come on, anytime.
No man here needs bend the knee before anyone.
Except God.
Those rogues, on the other hand, should bare their necks for our swords.
He's a bit of a bloodthirsty Papal Gregory, isn't he? See if he's got more. Any more? No more. Rousing speech. They should basically bend their necks over and accept bloody murder. Okay, well, this Pope is very friendly to Catholics, because I was considering perhaps being able to attack places that were heretic enough. I decided I can't really be bothered with that particular rule. I'll just decide when I feel like killing people, I'm going to go kill people, because I'm the Pope, and that's what I can decide to do. So, won't worry about any of that nonsense. However, it seemed just a little bit brutal to start us off with. Now, we've got ourselves 4 units of Pacifist crossbowmen, by the way. We are massively OP for the start of the game. That is quite glorious. Get our cavalry back here. Yep, here is Mr. Pope Gregory himself. Now, what we might consider doing during this, it looks a bit dirtied up. What we might do, we might role play as the particular popes, because of course some of them are a little bit more pacifist than others. Some of them are violent maniacs. Gregory, yeah, we'll see which direction he goes. Depends how much blood he gets on him from this battle here. So yeah, we'll see about the role play opportunities. We're just going to send men forward here. Actually, is that a good idea? Probably not, actually. Let's just shoot these chaps first. Why have I got restrict camera on? I do not know. I think I reset a lot of my settings, because this game was heavily edited and modded from my Holy Roman Empire series. So I'm hoping everything's back to normal. Pretty certain it is. If it's not, well, it'll be extra fun along the way, I suppose. We'll drop some bolts on these chaps, and gradually we'll make our way towards the gate. It is currently raining, and I think that may have helped with the flaming arrows. It's definitely a thing on Three Kingdoms. I'm not so sure about this. I suspect it does. Maybe that's something I need to look up in the files. But hey-ho, their basic rules aren't going to do an awful lot to us here. I think they're actually trying to get out. They did briefly open the gates. There we go. Oh, some beautiful... I was going to say some beautiful graphical glitches there, but it might have been a simple case that the ram has already smashed its way through. Okay, they're going to run out at us. You guys put the ram down and just move back a sec. We'll just bring in our cavalry, charge into those militia. We'll just turn them around. There we go, that's fine. Oh, I don't know. What did I just tell everyone to do? I think I just told them to do all sorts of nonsense. I think it's fine, to be honest. They're not very happy about the cavalry charge, so sadly we'll have to cancel that instruction. But various holes are now appearing. Glorious victory will soon be ours. Oh yes, they are indeed moving. I kind of marked up my instructions there. They're running towards the plaza. So they're sending forth their peasant crossbowmen. Pope, get yourself in there. Take them down. This should be absolutely glorious. We will just try and plug up this little bit over here. Just make sure they don't reactivate their tower. That will be most magnificent. Are they actually blocking? They're blocking. All cav. Scrap that. Scrap that. Go over there. Head over there. Ooh, pathfinding's found a gap between some trees. It's unusual. Pathfinding can be very odd indeed on this, can't it? Right. Let's get our infantry forward at this point. We've only got a couple actually, haven't we? Get yourselves over here. We'll get all our police lads in. Marvellous work. I'm very much used to hearing the German commentary on this, so I'm going to miss the brutal German commentary, but we'll get the police lads. They'll shoot some brutal bolts in. They're not in a good position here to defend themselves against any crossbows. No. This town's way too small. Pope McGee is getting himself involved in this fight, although our bolts are going just over the head of our cavalry here. not particularly safe, but I suppose we are in a battle, Thomas. Yes, they're not necessarily the most safe professions, it should be said. Right, over in the plaza, they're getting themselves shot. They're not defending the crossbowmen who have been taken out. All the Pope's ignoring my instructions and he's just running forward. That's bold of you, sir. I suggest you probably should get back, if I'm honest. I mean, it doesn't really matter my faction leader dies. Just get a new one voted in. Magnificent stuff. There's Popey McGee. He's oh wow, that was close. There might be a few heretics among these police lads back here. They were very close to shooting old Popey in the head. Oh well. So we'll just keep sending this guy to disrupt up these chaps, and I think at this point we'll just speed it up. Oh, some of these shots are just rifling their way in. It is magnificent stuff. The angles are glorious. And the last few of the Florentian men, is that the right word? Florentian men are going down. The general is fairly blooded. I think the Pope, should the Pope charge in for the final bit? Yeah, I reckon so. Okay, you lads, stop your fire. Hold fire. The Pope's going to take out the last 6 of them. Don't you worry. I said stop! What are you doing? Go away. This is the Pope's job now. Here we go. Popey McGee is charging in. Don't die, please!
Praise to our Lord. Our men have slain.
I think I broke the game. I paused at the wrong time. Oh no! We're merging for the horse. This does sometimes happen when you pause at the exact moment this happens. But we can very, very slow motion see the death of poor Steve there. Brutal efficiency from our Popey genius here. So Gregory has achieved victory, and as we merge and become one with this horse here, I think we might cut the rest of this out.
All of Christendom will be awed by the victory we have won here today.
There we go. You started the victory speech before I even got out of the nonsense of whatever that was. Well, there we go. The Pope is there's all sorts of weird things to happen straight away. But a fairly efficient victory, all things considered. A couple casualties from the Pope there. One of them. What's the brackets mean again? Does that mean that one got healed? I don't know, because it doesn't say there. Yeah, that probably means we shot them in the back. I don't know. 4 casualties inflicted. Why have I forgotten what this means? I'm a numpty. Anyway, back to the campaign map. And with that, Florence falls to us, and Pope Gregory is fair in rule. I did, of course, occupy the city. It is a tiny... He's also gained some dread. Don't know how he managed both of those together, but there we go. We are, of course, going to look pretty interesting on this old list here. But we are looking terrible on finance because we've actually spent our money. So we will get ourselves... Let's just get ourselves a road, shall we? Maybe a church. I guess I am the Pope. I should consider church a bit higher on my priority list than I normally do. Okay, let's get things organised. Might be a few turns just to get ourselves a boat, send it over here to Corsica. The nobles will be very happy indeed. Some of the best units. They're going to give us a pile of Papal Guard, I imagine. That'd be lovely. Once again, a trade offer is considered rather generous, so we'll just try and extort a little bit of money. Now, I very much hope everyone is playing this game like I play the game, which is leave a diplomat next to Rome and give me piles of money all the time. I would love it if everyone did that. That would be grand. Although, to be honest, I'm very much expecting to have quite a bit of money, and largely I expect to be, just passing it around to make life interesting. That's, I wasn't trying to get in your way. I was trying to put down a watchtower, but there we go. Possibly a good idea just to send another unit there for a moment, just to make sure he's okay. Oh yes, good old Popey is over here. We'll go and take on Corsica. Could do with some tasty chestnuts for Christmas this year, so that's an ideal place to grab. Get the settlement upgrade. We can put, let's keep the tax rate. Oh, it's actually not that low a population. We will keep the tax rate low there, but in Rome we'll turn it up just a tad. Money's a bit short at the start here. Not surprising, of course, but do just need to be careful. Once I've got Corsica and I swing down to Sardinia, assuming it's not been taken by Sicily yet, it hasn't. Yeah, we'll probably be absolutely fine at that point. So no issues there. Right. Oh, you can't actually lay down watchtowers. that surprising. Is that just because there's a character nearby? I think it's just because a character's nearby.
Of course, my lord.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll just put one here instead. I'm sure that'll be absolutely fine. Imperial Princess is hanging around. We haven't actually chatted with them just yet. We possibly should. So we'll get ourselves trade rights with them as well. Also considered generous. A couple hundred will be absolutely marvellous. We will take that. Lovely stuff. And we should probably go do the same with these chaps. But of course, on Medieval 2, that's my one mission. Can't do any more.
The day is ours. The enemy are beaten.
A few turns on then, and Corsica has decided to throw itself under the bus. We're going to occupy that. And with that, a mission is successful. 4 units of Papal Guard at the capital, which is marvellous because I could do with some extra men just to make sure no funny business goes on over there. Now, of course, this army can go and move immediately on. Don't need too many men to stay in the town. Possibly just a few units there can plod on with the Pope. Yeah, maybe we'll just take one more unit of infantry just to make sure. In fact, no, we'll take the Pacifist lads because they're pretty versatile. You come over here. Good old Gregory can march over towards... Ooh, the Sicilians are here. Okay, if they beat us to it, that's fine. This is kind of extra territory. They'll come and poke us at some point anyway. Not too worried about that. Okay, Florence can afford a port. That'll be good for the old economy. An alliance with the Roman Empire and Milan. Interesting. Possibly not good for me. Possibly nothing to worry about, eh? So what we'll do, we'll flick through a couple more of the turns, see what Sicily get up to. Are they going to put it under siege? Are they going to take it on? It looks like they attacked and failed, or they're just running off because they saw the boat. Well, all the more for us. My town now, lads, my town now. So I might just try and get... Can we get that tower? No, I'm kind of happy with just some ladders, to be honest. That will be absolutely marvellous. Let's just make sure we have a boat in case old Popey gets kicked away. I couldn't actually remember how many troops were here, but it is just some archers and one other unit. The Muslim archers are fantastic, of course, but the peasant archers are absolutely terrible. Of course, I did talk about role-playing as the Pope here, so pretty well worth looking at what his traits are. And it does certainly look like, yeah, between winning first, admires technology, promising commander, I think he's a little bit of a warring chap, don't you? Certainly at the start of this campaign, he's going to be a bit worried, so that seems to fit, I suspect. So, admires technology. He's literally built a few ladders, but we might as well head in. So let's go and take Sardinia, and with that we have just some peasants and a few archers. Muslim archers, as I said, are pretty good. We need to be a little bit careful about them, but that aside, we shouldn't have too many issues. Let's storm it. Let's take another city for the Pope.
Now lift up your banners and march away. To glory, good soldiers, and a bloody day!
He's a poet! Magnificent. We have ourselves a magnificent scholarly poet among us. And with that, I think it's time to head in an interesting little castle complex. Honestly, not looking all that strong. The ram has already smashed down the gates. The Muslim archers stuck on the plaza, really contributing nothing to this old affair. And with the gates down, it's time to just charge the Pope in. We've lost a few of these spear militia here to the arrows, but nothing too bad, to be honest. Papal Guard up here, they can get on top of those lads. You guys honestly just shooting would be the best bet, because yeah, to be honest, if you can just get your crossbowmen onto the walls to shoot, like this old chap here, he was floating for a moment, but he's actually doing okay. Yeah, you can do surprise amounts of damage just by making them shoot on the walls rather than actually engage. So send them in. Let's go and take out these guys. A little charge will do surprising amount of damage if they manage to pull it off. Anytime you want, lads. Nope, no charge officially there, which is a bit odd considering it should be said that those guys were definitely galloping, but I guess enough of the unit weren't. where it didn't count. Just a little bit unfortunate there. So, send in the cav, they'll clear all of those chaps out. Peasant archers are already routing. Those peasants are also routing. This battle is pretty much already done. I don't think we're going to get anywhere near sunset on this occasion, sir. Not at all. Oh, gosh, that was a bit loud, my good sir. Calm down. Get in there. Everyone, all infantry, get on top of the Muslim archers. They're not going to last very long at this point, quite honestly. Probably best for our good old crossbowmen to not get involved. We know that they're a little bit overzealous with the old crossbow bolts. So, yes. Anyway, let's get all of our cav into the rear of these chaps. That should break them pretty easily. They seem to be very much stuck in the old, yes, the pathfinding issues. Where are you shooting? Oh, yeah, we have lads over there. Of course we do. And down goes the general. This time I didn't press pause at the exact moment of that, which means we can actually get on with our lives. This looks like, yeah, we've won this one without too much fuss, really, haven't we? A few men shot on their way to the gate, but that's really all it was. Beautiful. Clear victory for us here, and with that we have ourselves one final city. One final city, he says. Of course, that can all change very quickly, especially when Sicily are going on a bit of a grand tour. Back to you in a minute, Sicily. As for all of this nonsense, apparently that was a mission. Who knew? More occupying going on. I've been awarded some monies. Beautiful. Okay, with that, we can build ourselves a castle and a chapel, and to be honest, I probably could do with that castle, but with the popes, I'll build a chapel first and foremost. Does look awfully like Sicilians are going on a grand tour. They didn't attack the rebel settlement, so I assume they're just having a little nose around. They'll probably pop over to Genoa, have themselves a nice coffee on the waterfront. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful time for them. I'm sure nothing possibly could go wrong with this. Amazingly, nothing has gone wrong. Who would have thought that? I'm generally quite staggered that they actually got on the boat. They might just be sending more reinforcements. There's certainly more boats, and here are some Moors. They've just come to have a chat, I'm sure. There's going to be no issue with them. Historically, no issues at all. Relations improved. Now, this is a message I have never seen in the history of Medieval 2. Relations improved to good. And with Milan, that is staggering, and I don't know how we did it, but there we go. I guess we're being a good pope, and he's very pleased with the work we're doing. Marvellous stuff. I don't think the Moors really have enough to take us on right now, so I suspect they're coming for a little tour as well. Nothing more than that to worry about. Because we did have some money a moment ago. I've already spent it. We've renamed the cities, of course. We now have the Vatican over here, the town of Gregory up in the north here. I think in time we might find some obvious names for these towns. We will see how the old plot goes. There's a Sicilian spy in the Vatican. Who would have thought it? Who would have thought it? Chivalrous and extra authority. Very nice, old popey. You're coming along. He is an honest man. Yep, he lets you know if he hates you. Just like the good old Holy Roman Emperor over here. Good old Heinrich. How are we getting on with diplomacy, by the way? We are still immaculate. We have been occupying cities. Our relations have tweaked around a little bit. Interesting. His Holiness, me, by the way, feels nothing ill to say about most of these factions, which is fine. We should consider a crusade, by the way. Where do we want to go? I suspect if I'm the Pope, I should probably call a crusade on the likes of Cordoba and try and get Europe back to being just Catholic to start with. I did just have a mission to speak to Hungary, so probably a good idea to do that. Lovely. Trade rights accepted. Done. 500 monies. Lovely stuff. So, with my little Gordon Ramsay impression done, we can potentially just move on, to be honest. Yeah, it seems like people just landing, having a little nose around. Everything is, coming at Millhouse. And the staggering news continues. The Holy Roman Empire now consider our relations good. Who would have written this script? Well, No. No. Sicily have come back for another tour. This must have been their favourite spot. It must have been that. That or they're going to have their battle with the Moors over here. Not sure about all of that. That could go wrong before it goes right. We'll see about that. Maybe we'll start sending these Papal Guards around. I could possibly do with a boat or two, actually. Get a new ship right. I'm just going to build up my economy. And yeah, that's one of the nice things about this particular campaign we're getting on with here. We can actually, for one of the few times in my life, take things slow on Medieval 2 and build it up. Build up an economy. Build up some infrastructure. That's one of the nice things on the old Pacifist run for SPQR as well. Just a lovely, lovely time to be had by all. So we're going to build up these cities. They are possibly, well, certainly Rome is going to be, the Vatican is going to be one of the biggest, strongest cities going in the world. It is pretty large already, not too far from growing into, what would it be, a large city at that stage. That would be absolutely magnificent. And our priest over here, 81% Catholic, not doing too bad actually. Yeah, we can of course get our own Pope. Not sure quite what effect that might have, other than I suppose we have really good relations with ourselves, which is I suppose a positive. You know, we have good self-esteem, you know, we have good self-worth. Yeah! See, that is a healthy thing to have, isn't it? So, yeah, hopefully one day we'll get one of our own popes. We might have to train these up to be a little bit better than they are. This guy's a monk and a nun, so a bit less violence, a bit less purity, and he's Orthodox, Divine Connection. He's not too bad. He might be able to get better in time. Best, of course, if you send them to non-Catholic regions, and if, of course, they can start flipping around some heretics, but that'll come in time. Oh yeah, the heretics. We haven't even got to the Inquisitors yet. Oh yes, we do get Inquisitors. Don't you worry about that. I can't recruit them myself, not actively anyway, but I will get some. And when we get to those, oh, they're going to be a lot of fun indeed. Picking up over here on the end of turn reports. I know some of you like to see it. So here we currently stand. Financial as ever. Looks like it's in the toilet. I just actually spend my money, unlike the AI apparently. So we won't worry about that. I will get a merchant though. I would quite like a merchant. Always worth sending one over to the gold mine over there. That's always worth a ton. We'll get some monopolist traits. And yeah, over here on Sardinia, things are getting stranger and stranger. The Moors are now at war with Portugal, so that might get them a little bit distracted. But in the meantime, yeah, can't help but notice this is starting to get messy indeed. So get an old road built. Do I want a road? Probably don't. Probably want to save up for that castle, actually. Possibly the best idea. Okay, we'll get rid of the merchant for now. We'll come back to you, sir. I do like a merchant, but you're not really top of the list. We'll get that upgraded too, because that wasn't really the strongest position to be starting off with if it gets attacked. So, yeah, we need to just hold off potential weird wars with Sicily and the Moors here. It's a bit early for that. It's only turn 13. Could consider a crusade. They will get called. And there we go. There's Sicily. There's Sicily. It's happened. And yeah, as right on cue, a crusade has indeed been called. Tunis. Okay. I'm quite happy to go for Tunis in the name of our good Lord. But yeah. Yeah, plenty of forces. Not the moment to declare war on the Moors, Mr. Pope. I'm not sure what you've been smoking, but it's not his army who's invading. It's the Sicilians, damn it. Okay, well, we all knew this was the inevitable beginning of this campaign. Sicily declared war on us. I guess we'll eat Sicily, and then we'll sort out the crusade. Fine. Now, traditionally, what happens at the Crusade moment, or the First Crusade, is no one actually... it's not the Moors. I just assumed it was Moorish, but no, it's Sicilian. We have declared a crusade on Sicilian Tunis. Oh, well, this gets more and more interesting by the minute. Well, I guess the world police is going to have to step in for this one. Okay, the Moors are fine. They're neutral. We haven't even declared war on them through the crusade either. We are just declaring all war on Sicily. Perfect. Okay. we can deal with that. We can definitely defend against whatever weird force they're going to send into us here. Shame we couldn't get this castle built, but honestly, that's not the biggest problem at the end of the day. We got plenty to defend the castle. Sicilians will bleed themselves dry on this. I was about to say, normally the first Crusade of the game, the AI doesn't really join because, well, I guess it's programmed that way, I assume. I don't exactly know. I've never seen anything in the files which says that they don't join the First Crusade, but normally what happens is they don't very much, so that the, you know, whoever you're playing as has a chance to go and grab something. The game seems to invite the actual human player to go and grab something with the Crusade mechanism, because of course that's a big feature of this game here. But yeah, I'm very much hoping they join in on this. Of course, you did see excommunication there for Sicily, as you might well expect. We can offer them to be reconciled through diplomacy, which of course is worth quite a bit. So we can probably get them to pay for some good peace in time. But I reckon we can just brutally murder Sicily. Actually, maybe we'll leave them on their island. But I'm going to take Tunis. I'm going to give that to Portugal, I guess, and I'll eat Naples for myself if I get the opportunity. Oh well, this pacifist run is going very, very peacefully indeed. We have ourselves 3 cities conquered, and war with one of our fellow Catholics. It's potentially not the most auspicious of reigns for good old Gregory, but it might well get better yet. Of course, our fleet is completely stuck there. They're going to flee into the middle of nowhere. I suppose at very least it is a scout. The Crusade has grown. Magnificent news. All of that nonsense I said. Oh yeah, Poland, of course. Poland are one of the few factions who tend to join the early Crusade in my experience. Normally you see Poland turn up at the Holy Land before anyone else. I guess they have a bit of a free run. Sicily, sadly, with that second boat, have landed more troops. Yeah, they're over there, Thomas. Well done. An alliance with the Moors would be quite lovely right about now. I suspect they're just queuing up, though. So, yeah, we'll see the Polish turn up before long. But, this is actually the Pope that is besieged over here, by the way. They have put the Pope under siege. I think they'll probably head in next turn. So we'll see how that goes. Let's just check in on everyone else. Is everyone else doing fine? I think we're all doing fine. It might all be down to you to kind of run Italy for a while, actually, sir. So I don't know what you want to do. Maybe get more diplomats. Maybe we can get some people on side with this. Who are we getting on with? England are quite holy. Spain are quite holy. What relations are going on in the world? Alliance with the Holy Roman Empire and Milan. Nothing else really going on by the looks of it, no. Okay, I reckon I can get some alliances with some of these guys over here. Milan is just empty. Oh, I wish. Could I get there? I'm not going to do it. No, I can't do it if I wanted to. I'm not going to do it, but I could have done it. Okay, let's offer... Oh, they don't want an alliance. That's not a good sign. Okay, until next time, when you inevitably stab us in the throat as well. Portuguese, we could do a chat with them. They're at war with the Moors, who possibly we don't want to annoy right now, but it's good to chat with them anyway. We'll get some relations with them. Let's see what Sicily get up to then. And inevitably, the Sicilians are going to come in. They haven't actually put the reinforcements here, so I think we'll be fine for this first attack, but the Moors might well be queuing up for it. And to be honest, ladies and gents, it's probably a good time to leave it right now. We've got ourselves a comfortable start. Okay, we had ourselves a comfortable little start. We've grabbed ourselves the town of Gregory. We've got Corsica and Sardinia. I kind of knew Sardinia was a bit of a powder keg, but hey ho, I think that's just kind of Gregory's style, isn't it? He's going to bash the Sicilian chap over their head with his Pope stick. What's the Pope stick? I'm going to have to research that before next episode. Anyway, next episode we'll find out what a Pope stick is called, and we'll also obviously go in to smash Sicily. The Pope is under siege, and we're only 40 odd minutes in to what's supposed to be a pacifist run. Yeah, the pacifism isn't quite happening yet. We'll get to that in time, ladies and gents. But for now, I will leave you. I am Thomas. This is To Nerds to Human, and this has been our first instalment of the Papal States Pacifist run. the campaign that you voted for in the old community tab. So thank you for suggesting this. I've been looking forward to this one for a while, and yeah, I hope you join me for the next episode. Thank you, and bye-bye. Flaming horses! It's a flaming horse! No one would stand in the way of the Reich! No! My archers. Sorry, look at this guy. I don't want to die. But of course you shall, my friend. Oh yes.